Susan is a dressage rider, content creator, and blogger who is more widely known as Dressage Hub, the blog that she started years ago that ultimately spread into content creation on multiple platforms. For years, she has been known for calling out horse abuse at the top levels of equestrian sport, but today she is more so known for her current business venture, Pink Pony Peptides. A business that some people are calling revolutionary and life-changing, and a business that some other people, myself included, are calling dangerous and honestly, probably illegal. Hey guys, welcome back. Quite a few of you have been asking me to talk about Pink Pony Peptides, some of you just genuinely asking kindly, and other people criticizing me for not working on their specific timelines. I posted a short explaining this yesterday, but I will explain it again here just in case any of you haven't seen it. I didn't even know about Pink Pony Peptides until a month ago. Most of this discourse has been happening on TikTok, and even though I've posted a few videos on TikTok in the past few months, I don't scroll TikTok anymore. I don't consume content over there, and I also don't really watch a lot of equestrian horse-related content on YouTube either. So I didn't know that Pink Pony Peptides was a thing until a month ago when I saw a video posted by another creator. It came up on my home feed. I watched it, made a note of it, that I need to look into it, and then my life fell apart. My horse had an emergency that took over my life for several weeks. I went through some serious health challenges that I am still trying to work my way out of. By the way, if I sound out of breath in this video, I'm having just like chest tightness today, so that's what that is. But I wasn't able to work for quite a few weeks. I had pre-filmed videos that I scrambled to get out, and then when I finally felt like I had things somewhat together, I went back into looking at Pink Pony Peptides. All right, moment taken, let's get back to Pink Pony Peptides. For the sake of legal protection, I do just have to say quickly that any statements about potential negative effects of Pink Pony Peptides are just that, potential and hypothetical. Accusations of legal wrongdoing are all alleged. Nothing has been proven in a court of law. Pink Pony Peptides is a business owned by Susan, aka Dressage Hub, that sells, you guessed it, peptides. Peptides are short chains of amino acids that are used for a lot of different medical purposes, depending on which amino acids are in the chain. Some popular uses are for injury healing, immune support, reducing inflammation, appetite suppression, and weight loss. Those last two are probably the most common uses, as GLP-1s like Ozempic are actually also peptides, and GLP-1s have become quite popular in the last couple of years. And let me just say, I really don't care if someone is taking a GLP-1 for weight loss, so long as that GLP-1 has been prescribed by a doctor and their weight loss is being monitored by a doctor. My problem is not people using peptides or businesses selling peptides. My problem is someone selling peptides that have not been approved for human or veterinary use and marketing them directly to equestrians, telling them that they should be taking them and giving them to their animals when their potential short or long-term effects have not been investigated, their safety has not been proven, and their efficacy has not been proven. And that's exactly what's happening here. If you look at the Pink Pony Peptide website, the whole website is very clearly made to advertise products directly to equestrians, with photos of riders and statements like, "Get back in the saddle faster." And product descriptions are tailored to horseback riders as well, telling customers exactly how the product will benefit their equestrian lifestyle. But at the same time, the website says all over the place that you're not supposed to use them on yourself. Right there on the home page, right below where it says that these peptides are of premium quality, it says research only. All compounds are sold strictly for laboratory research purposes, not for human or veterinary use. And then if you scroll down to the very bottom of any page that you're looking at on the website, you will see the very clear in-depth disclaimer that tells you that these have not been FDA approved for use in humans or animals, and they are not for human use or for animal use. The assertions made here have not undergone assessment by the Food and Drug Administration. The products provided by Pink Pony Peptides are not designed to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any illness. Our lyophilized peptides are exclusively for in vitro research, analytical, or laboratory purposes and are not for human or animal applications of any kind. These products are to be managed only by individuals with the appropriate professional credentials. Only to be managed by individuals with appropriate professional credentials. Sounds to me like they're only supposed to be administered by doctors and other healthcare workers. And yet these peptides are being sold directly to customers who will be using them on themselves and potentially their pets, because regardless of all of the places on the website where it tells you that these are for research only and they're not supposed to be used on humans or animals, there are so many places on the website where they're clearly marketing them for that use. And if you go over to Susan's personal social media pages, she tells you all of the human and animal benefits of using them. She started out just by sharing how peptides have helped her on her weight loss journey, and then when she started Pink Pony, she shared how these specific peptides have helped her, how they've helped her friends, how they've helped customers, and then she shared that a customer reached out asking if they sold them in larger sizes because they wanted to give it to their horse.
People rave about this product. Someone reached out to me last week asking me if I could get it in a bigger size because they want to try it on their horse. And one of my manufacturers has just started offering it in a larger size. So I've ordered it in the larger size. It is approved for use on animals. So I'm going to keep you guys posted. We're going to get it in. I'll let you know when we get it in, and then we're going to do like a little bit of a case study. And she's got an older horse with a bit of inflammation she wants to use it on, and we're going to test it out, and we'll keep you posted on how it all works out.
Future Cat popping in here just to fact check something really quickly. The product that Susan is talking about here is called KPV, and she says that it's approved for use in animals, and I wanted to double check that, so I went online, and after a little bit of searching, from what I can tell, KPV as a compound is actually not approved for use in animals. It is sometimes used in veterinary medicine, but it's not technically approved for veterinary use. But sometimes vets will use things even if they're not properly approved yet. But even so, even if KPV itself was approved for use in animals, the KPV listed on the Pink Pony website is also listed as for research purposes only, not for human or veterinary use. So it doesn't really matter if KPV on its own as a compound is approved for animal use if her specific stock of KPV is not approved. And Susan said, yep, I can get it in a bigger size, and now we're going to do a case study. And call me crazy, but after reading the little biography about Susan on the Dressage Hub blog, I don't think she's qualified to be running a case study. No, selling peptides or research chemicals on its own is not illegal, but marketing and selling those research chemicals directly to customers with the intention of them being used on people and pets generally is. Susan also does seem to be aware of the fact that she's not completely FDA compliant, at least in terms of her website.
So basically, what their biggest complaint is that my website is not 100% compliant. And it isn't. It was a strategy that I discussed with my attorney before launching. And what will happen is the FDA will reach out and say you have 2 weeks to change the website out. We already have the second one built out. It's not really a big deal.
She says that she knows that her website is not fully FDA compliant, but that it's okay because her lawyer said that all the FDA is going to do is contact her and tell her to change it, and they already have the second version of the website ready to go. But if the compliant version is ready, why didn't you just start with that? Or why haven't you changed it already? I know she said it was a launching strategy, but your launching strategy was to deceive people and potentially put them at risk? Now, she is actually right here. The first thing that the FDA will usually do in a situation like this is reach out directly to the business owner, which would be Susan, informing her of her violations and instructing her to correct them. They will likely send her a very detailed letter outlining these violations and then tell her the consequences of if she does not fix them. Okay, so I have to pop in here and let you know that since me filming this video, which was literally 48 hours ago, the website has actually undergone a huge change. Equestrian-specific marketing statements like "get back in the saddle faster" have been removed from the homepage, and equestrian-specific product descriptions have also been removed. There are now only categories and tags listed under products, but no description that tells you specifically what it's for or what it does. So at first glance, the website does appear to now be FDA compliant, which of course is great to see, but I don't think that that excuses the fact that a non-FDA compliant version was knowingly launched in the first place. The only thing on the website that I think is towing the line is the homepage picture, the picture of the rider on the horse that is going over a jump. If I opened this website for the first time, this would still very much feel like a website that is selling things for horses or for horse people, at least to me. I don't know if this image would actually pose an issue with the FDA, but it feels a little bit iffy, a little bit towing the line to me. Again, I am very happy to see that the website has changed, but the peptides are still being marketed to equestrians just on social media through Susan's page and the pages of other creators that are affiliates or associated with Pink Pony. The website change is an improvement and a pretty big improvement, but I don't think it makes it okay that they had the non-compliant version up at all, especially when the compliant version was supposedly already ready to go. Some people may be purchasing these products not knowing that they're not approved for human use. They may be purchasing these products not knowing that they haven't been deemed safe and not knowing that their efficacy hasn't been proven, and that concerns me. That concerns me for the sake of any human that uses them on themselves, and that concerns me for the health of any pet that is unlucky enough to have their owner use it on them. Because even if these peptides can have benefits for a pet's health, they have not been approved for veterinary use. They haven't been deemed safe for use on any animal species. You should not be giving your pet any medications or chemicals that have not been approved for veterinary use unless you have been otherwise advised by your vet. For example, in situations like allergies, a lot of over-the-counter human allergy medications like Benadryl or Reactin have not been approved for veterinary use, but they are commonly given to pets to treat environmental allergies, which is advised by veterinarians. For example, my dog gets an over-the-counter human allergy medication every day, which is something that my vet told me to do, because the pet prescription version destroyed his immune system. But please, honestly, regardless of where the chemical or medication comes from or whether or not it's been approved, don't give it to your pet unless your vet has signed off on it, because you don't know how that chemical or medication might affect your pet. If your pet has other health conditions or is on other medications, you might not know how that new chemical or medication could interact with those pre-existing conditions or medications. You might not be aware of how that could affect your pet, but your vet probably would be. And honestly, I would not want to take medical advice, human or veterinary, from someone on the internet, and especially someone on the internet that doesn't have a medical degree. I don't necessarily have a problem with a person like Susan owning a business like this, so long as there are doctors and medical professionals that are on board and helping every single step of the way, and the person like Susan is like just the owner and the figurehead and is not actually in charge of the product. People become owners and figureheads of businesses that are out of their wheelhouse all the time. The problem here is not the business existing, and it's not even really Susan owning it. Although I do think that we're in a really weird place in history where we have deemed it normal for social media influencers to own all sorts of businesses that they probably shouldn't be involved in. Like, why is it normal? Why is it considered normal? Why has it been normalized for influencers to own health and wellness brands? Like, why is it normal for influencers to be selling supplements when they have absolutely no education in the health and wellness sector and they have no medical degree? Why is that normalized? Like, maybe just maybe we should be leaving healthcare brands and companies to healthcare professionals? Maybe? No? Maybe? I don't know. Am I crazy? I don't know. That's me. The problem here is that non-FDA approved research chemicals that have not been deemed safe for human or veterinary use and whose efficacy has not been proven are being marketed directly to equestrians for human and pet use. My message to anyone watching this video is to be wary of anyone on social media that is trying to sell you health-related products, or honestly, products of any kind. Be a critical consumer. Don't take what the influencer or content creator is telling you at face value. Investigate the website, investigate the product, research online to determine whether or not that compound or those ingredients actually have the effect that the manufacturer or business is saying that they do. Look at who's involved at the business, who owns it, who is on the team. If you're looking at something like supplements or medications, look at who's on the team that is formulating those supplements or medications. And please never put anything in your body that is labeled research only. If it's not FDA approved, please don't take it, unless you are a part of a legitimate clinical trial that is being run by actual doctors. And please never give your pet a medication or any chemicals that are not approved for veterinary use unless your vet has advised you otherwise. The situation with Pink Pony Peptides is not just internet drama, and the people speaking out about it are not just haters like Susan likes to call them. This situation is serious and potentially dangerous. Susan seems to think that anyone that is speaking negatively about Pink Pony Peptides just doesn't like her and so wants to tear her down. But just to quickly dispel that notion, I had never heard of Susan or Dressage Hub until a month ago when I first heard about Pink Pony Peptides. I have no preconceived notions of her. I didn't know who she was before the Pink Pony situation, and I honestly still barely do. None of this video is a comment on her as a person because I don't know who she is as a person. I could watch every single video on her TikTok page and still not know who she truly is as a person, because the reality is the vast majority of content creators and influencers are not 100% identical in person to how they are online. We are usually very, very similar. I would say I'm probably very, very similar, as a lot of other content creators and influencers are, but we all play up certain parts of our personality and play down certain parts of our personality in order to make the content have the effect that we want it to, and in order to make it digestible or make it clickable or make it go viral, depending on what the goal is. For example, one of the ways that I would say that I am different in person to how I am online, and this is probably one of the biggest differences I would say to if you were to meet me in person versus how you see me online, is that online, on my main channel at least, I try my best to use very limited curse words and very limited crude language to almost none. And I do that so that my videos are more professional and so that they're more digestible for a wider audience. And particularly because even though I don't make my videos for kids or younger teens, I want parents to feel comfortable with their kid watching my video. If I post a video that's just about the negative effects of stalling, something that could be very helpful for a young equestrian on their journey, I don't want a parent to look over their kid's shoulder and decide that they don't want their kid watching my videos because I swear too much. In person, I swear a lot more. That's probably the biggest difference, I would say, for me on person versus online. But a lot of us have differences like that from our online persona to how we are in person. Susan may be very similar to nearly identical online to how she is in person, or she could be very different. And it would be ignorant of me to assume that I know exactly who she is and exactly how she is simply from watching her online content, because I have no personal relationship with her. All of that being said, I do think it is important for me to acknowledge the fact that I have seen behavior from her online that I really don't like. I have seen a lot of negativity and hate come from her directed at other people, which is something that I do not support and something that I do not stand for, coming from anybody directed at anybody. Among other things, I have seen her use people's looks as a way to discredit them, making fun of people for how they look, which I think is just so unbelievably below the belt and nasty. I don't think there is any reason to stoop down to that level, especially when it comes to a situation like this. But my point is, this video is not a comment on Susan as a person. This video is commentary on bad and dangerous business practices that could get somebody seriously hurt. People speaking out about this situation are not haters. They are not people who are trying to tear you down. At least I would say most of them aren't. People speaking out about this are people who are concerned about the negative consequences of selling non-FDA approved research chemicals directly to people for human and pet use. We are worried about these chemicals potentially having harmful effects on people who are unaware of the risks. And we are upset about the lying and the blatant contradictions. You have a website that is perfectly beautifully designed to market products directly to equestrians, but then at every single turn, you have a disclaimer that says that they shouldn't be using them on themselves. This will help you get back in the saddle after an injury faster. It's so amazing and it boosts healing. Oh, but it's not FDA approved and it's not meant for human or animal use of any kind, so you can't use it. But here's the social media page of the business owner who's telling you that you should use it and there's so many amazing benefits. And nowhere do you share the potential negative effects of these chemicals or the negative effects of if the customer uses it wrong. Do you see the problem here? I am also very concerned by the videos that I have seen of other creators sharing that they use these on themselves and marketing them to their own audience. At the end of the day, I cannot control what you put in your body. That's your choice. And I am not going to come on the internet and talk negatively about you or tear you down simply for putting something in your body that I don't agree with. But where I draw the line is when you start marketing those unregulated drugs to your audience, not sharing any of the potential negative effects, and giving them a discount code. You are recommending these peptides to your audience, going on and on about all of the life-changing effects that they've had on you, and you are giving your audience a discount code so that they can save money on buying them for themselves. But you're not telling them that they're not FDA approved, and you're not telling them that they could have negative health effects. You're not telling them that they're unregulated. You're selling them this beautiful story about all of the amazing ways that these products have changed your life, a story that may very well be true, but you're not sharing any of the potential risk with them. And personally, I think that's all kinds of unethical. Susan, if you're watching this, I don't know if anything that I've said has stuck with you, but I hope something did. This video is not meant to attack you. It's meant to inform my audience about the potential risks of what you're doing and to ask you to stop and think. Because at the end of the day, I choose to believe that you do not want to hurt anyone. I don't think that you want to put anyone or their pets at risk, but that's exactly what you're doing. Okay guys, that is what I have to say on this topic. I think I covered all of the most important points, but it's possible that I missed something. If I did, you can share that in the comments. I won't lie, I'm very sleep deprived. My life has been a mess lately, as I mentioned, and so it's possible that I missed something. I scrambled to get this video ready, and I put myself into a sleep deprivation-induced flare-up. So that's great. Oh man, I'm just preparing myself for the hate this video will inevitably get. Whatever, I stand by it. Hit subscribe if you like animal welfare and education related content, and you can check me out over on Instagram and my vlog channel if you'd like to see what I get up to with my animals. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until I see you in the next one, please remember to think critically.